Q&A section. Please be sure to drop your questions there, because if you put the questions into the chat that you guys are all very rapid firely shooting off your location, those questions will get lost in the noise. So please drop any questions in the Q&A. We have a dedicated team there who will help facilitate answering those questions. So we will get started in just 1 minute. A lot of people piling in through the digital doors. Let me just kind of see if I can recognize where people are coming in from. Southwest Wyoming, SoCal, Yakima, Washington. You're just a few miles away from me. Flagstaff, Arizona. Flagstaff, are you guys going to be at Expo West by chance? Let's see. Also, we are going to be at Expo SoCal later on, I think in March. April? Yeah. Anyway, we will be down there. So if you are planning on joining the SoCal Expo, please come say hello to us. And again, for those that are joining, we are just about to get started. Welcome to onX Offroad's Masterclass, where we will be covering the basics of the product. A couple things. I cannot hear you. I cannot see you. So if you have questions, put those questions in the Q&A, and we will have a teammate assist in answering those questions for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight, you've got myself as the host, Andy Zielinski. I am based, as I mentioned, in North Idaho, where we are currently thawing out from a late winter blitz with a show of digital hands. Because again, I can't see you. Let us know. Are you over winter? Are you ready for some spring and for trails to start drying out? Because I sure am. And my rig is a 95 80 series Land Cruiser, affectionately named Larry. So now's your chance, really quickly. One last prompt before we go over tonight's agenda. I want to know what kind of rigs you guys are running. So as I flip to the next slide quickly with those fingers, let me know what it is you are ripping around the trails in or plan to this spring. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. You guys are fast typers. Holy moly. Okay, what we have cooking tonight. It's going to be a fun, jam-packed night. We are going to talk through kind of a high-level feature overview. This will give you kind of a chance to get oriented to the product kind of at a high level. And then I'm gonna, excuse me, walk you guys through how to plan an adventure and then execute that adventure using onX Offroad. I did just see a 2020 Sprinter. Fun story. My family and I converted a 2020 Sprinter. We moved from Oregon and we hit the road and we lived in it for 3.5 months before we got up to North Idaho. But we have since parted ways with the Sprinter, but great rig. And then we have a giveaway. So if you are able to stick around to the very end, I encourage you to do so. We have a fun giveaway that we are about to unveil in just a little bit. But before we get there, I want to ask a question. Now, stop typing really quickly. This is a chance for you guys to pull out your phones or open up the laptop. And I want to encourage you guys to open up the onX Offroad app. And as you're doing that, I have a question that I want you to type an answer in the chat, and then I'm going to pause for a second, and then I'll get into it. When you are opening the onX Offroad app for the first time, what do you expect to see, or what do you want to see presented to you in terms of information? Ready, set, go. Okay, and as you guys are filling that out, thank you for being good classmates. We are going to start tonight by talking through, as I said, some of the basic features. Keep typing. This is really helpful for me, but I'm going to start talking through the app. So I'm going to start just to orient us a little bit. If you can see my cursor right here, it's the black guy. And I'm sorry, I usually have it bigger, and tonight it reverted and I somehow reset my map. But anyway, hopefully you guys can follow along. I'm going to start up here in the top left hand section of the screen where it says dirt. So one thing that I am looking for, especially when I jump into a new product and I'm trying to kind of begin scouting out my adventure, my plan that I want to do for the weekend, there's a few things that I'm going to be looking for. One, I'm going to be looking for trails. And so for anyone who's joining onX for the first time or you're still getting used to the product, finding trails is relatively simple. There's a couple ways that you can find trails that are the most accommodating to what you're after. So we will go ahead, we will start by tapping the dirt button right up there. And you're going to see that it pulls up a couple different mode options, a dirt mode, a snowmobile mode, and then it also has activities based on trail type. So right now, I only have high clearance 4x4 trails selected and full width trails selected. But let's go ahead and select all. You're going to start to see the map kind of populate with more trails all over the place. And I'm going to show kind of an example of what I'm talking about. So all trails right through here, the Canfield Mountain Trail System is a really, really popular, great dirt biking trail system out by where I live. But if I am specifically looking for something that I can take my Land Cruiser on, then I am going to not be interested in this. And there might be some trails that I just want to filter down by. So let's go ahead and select high clearance and full width roads. And now you can see that that starts recalibrating what the map view looks like. And you can also filter by trail length. You can also filter by total time that you'd like to run the trail with. Before we go any further down this activity card, I want to quickly pause and then move over to the left-hand side. And so really quickly, if you have your phone up, actually, let me just do this. So anyone who's following along on your phone, I'm going to show you how this orients to the web view versus the mobile view. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And I don't see that it's sharing. Is it not sharing, Melissa?
No, Andy, I don't see your phone.
Well, it was working when we were QAing it. Okay, well, just for the sake of storytelling, let's pretend that this bar right down here on the left-hand side, that's going to be at the bottom of your phone device. So as you're following along, go ahead and click the Discover card, and this is going to bring up all of these great trails around where you live. And so, as you can see, there's a whole list of trails that are mapped and categorized by trail difficulty. Right now, I have a lot of easy trails selected. Let me go ahead back to the filter difficulty level, easy, moderate, difficult, all. Let's just go ahead and select all. Go back to the Discover tab, and I want to figure out what this Wolf Lodge is all about. So I'm going to simply click Wolf Lodge, and now this is going to give you some really great information based on the trail information that we have available. It says someone says, I think your screen share stopped. I can't see your screen. That's a few. Are we having technical difficulties?
Possibly. Move your mouse, Andy. Let me see if I can see it moving.
What is
No, I
going
think I think Zoom has frozen your screen.
Let's try to reset the window. Are we back?
Yes, we're back.
Holy moly, you guys. you think I'd be a pro by now, but I think technology is working in my disadvantage. I am sorry. We're back in action. Thanks for being patient. Let me just go ahead and zoom back to where I was. Okay, so to reset, let's breathe. We are all in this together. I was looking at activity and then wanting to map down based on the trail type because I have a Land Cruiser, and now I want to go over to the Discover tab, and I now want to find trails that are all around me. And okay, cool. Wolf Lodge 202. Here we go. Now, we have hundreds and thousands of trails that are mapped by the hired hands of trail guides, which basically it's a whole program that we have stood up to where we are deploying people all throughout the United States, including just north of us in BC and beneath us in Baja, where they're going out mapping trails and providing as much detail as possible to be able to kind of like filter and talk through and give us information on what these trails are basically like how they're constructed. So let's just kind of at the top level look at the total distance. So Wolf Lodge, 12 miles. You got the high point, you got the low point. You have the difficulty rating, that's amazing, and then total time that it would take to run this trail. They'll also give you a description on route type. So whether that's a loop, whether that's an out and back or point to point. And then one thing that I have found that is super helpful is best times to run the trail. So depending on if you live in a part of the United States that is very it has a lot of fun trails to run in the winter or in the summertime, but lacks accessibility during the wintertime, this should give you quick perspective on like, okay, it's probably best to avoid the trail during this period of time. You'll also see that this trail was submitted by Xlander or Xander, and this person is a trail guide who's working for us. So just providing a little bit of transparency on where this information is coming from. And then the vehicle types that this is accessible by, including the trail description, which can be really helpful. Okay, so like trail description, get your buddies off the 612 and hit the 202, and you can read the description and kind of get a sense of what kind of adventure you are going to be in for. And then in addition, you're going to be provided some photos. This looks like this was just taken a few days ago, which it was not, but you know, lots of snow up here in North Idaho. You get some nice photos of crossings, intersections, saddles, some signage along the way. And at times, if there are obstacles along the trail, the trail guide will denote that within the description and photos as well. And then you can see surface type, etc., etc. And again, this is a great opportunity if you're new to the product and or you're new to an area, you're on a trip. So let's say I'm heading down south to Arizona and I want to find some trails to run around Flagstaff. I can simply drag my map down to that place, hit a trail, or simply tap Discover, and the Discover tool will bring in trails upwards of 150 miles away from you. So it should give you a very nice variety in terms of trails to select. So now that we have all of that, we'll scroll back up and I'm going to simply tap on trail reports. And it looks like I left a trail report on this one back in October of 2023. I have not been out on this trail since, and I have not left a trail report since because I've not been out there, and apparently no one else has been out there since. However, if you start tapping around the map and start finding trails that have trail reports that have been more recently updated, it will give you a good perspective on how the trail condition is looking. It really helps, especially while we're in between seasons. So if you're in an area that has seen a ton of rain, like Southern California or fires, this is a really great tool to keep the community up to speed with how the trail conditions have been faring. And then if you're there, you're like, okay, I just ran a trail. Let's say I went out, ran Wolf Lodge this morning. Don't tell my boss. I was playing hooky. I'll simply select the 20th, the time. I needed a break from meetings, so let's say midday, and Larry the Land Cruiser is my vehicle of choice. And hypothetically, let's just say that it was a little slushy, a little snowy, a little icy, but it kind of was a bit obstructed. I'm going to select obstructed and I'm going to hit next. And then this is a really powerful opportunity for the community to understand why. So was it a washout? Was it deep snow? In this case, I'm going to say it was a down tree. And how busy was the trail? It was just me. Okay, cool. So this might help other folks be informed around maybe it's not highly traveled trail. There is some obstruction along the trail. Good thing to be aware of. I will bring the proper tools, make sure that I have an offline map saved, and that I can travel this trail safely. I can also have the option of adding photos, especially if there's the obstruction that I talked about. It's really great to help show what those kind of obstructions look like, whether a chainsaw would be a viable option to clear the trail out, or a winch, or if it's just like, nope, it's for someone else, a forest department to deal with, and then leave a description and hit submit. I was not out on this trail, so I am not going to hit submit, but you can follow a similar flow depending on what the trail status was. So there's roughly 650 folks joining here on the call tonight. And I expect and ask of you guys, please, 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 in the coming weeks, months, especially as we're transitioning into spring, go out, run a trail, leave a trail report, and make sure that this stays up to date. It's like going into a restaurant where there's nobody in the restaurant and you start asking yourself, do I really want to eat here? And the answer is probably maybe not. But sometimes the risk is worth the reward. Point being, leave a trail report, keep the community informed. It really, really helps us with keeping one, access to trails open, but also keeping the community informed. So I'm gonna go ahead, back out of this. I'm gonna hit discard because I do not want to share that because I didn't run it today. So we're back to the Discover card. Now let's move into some planning. As I mentioned, we're going to talk through a couple tools and then we're going to go into plan mode. So with planning, it's really, really important to kind of have a few things outlined. Number one, where do you want to go? So I'm going to reference Beauty Bay right here. It's just a little fire road that's not too far from where I go. It's a fun place to go out, take the kids. It's a really easy trail. It really takes no effort on my part, but the kids love it. It's a fun trail just for a quick getaway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new waypoint, and let's just call this, because you can customize your waypoints and you can name them. So I'm just going to say quick trail rip with the kids, 4x4. And I'm going to mark this, let's say blue. And I'm going to move this guy down to Beauty Bay right there at the end. Cool. And now I am going to hit save, and I have saved this waypoint or this pin, whatever you want to call it, on the trail. And I'm going to also move over down to the end of this card, select more, and I'm going to add this to a folder. And the reason why is because folders are a really great tool to start organizing your ideas and your adventure plans into a single place. So I'm going to create a new folder, quick trail rip with the kids. Save. Okay. Now it's been added to the folder and awesome. I'm now on my way. So let's just say I also want to have a kind of a picnic right here. The kids are they're always hungry, always bugging me to like, hey, can we stop, have some food, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Okay. We will have picnic. Again, you can select from a number of different icons. Picnic is one. You can filter by just simply typing the word out. Cool. Now I have the picnic right here along Beauty Bay. I'm accounting for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and marshmallows because why not? Gonna mark that red so I know that the picnic is red. I'm trying to get to the end of Beauty Bay. Cool. It's all the way at the end. Amazing. I'm gonna add that to folder. Quick trip. Here we go. Now, one last part about the trail, which is really, really interesting. I'm gonna add in one last waypoint. I heard that on this trail, Sasquatch was out there, and my kids are down for a Sasquatch hunt. So just to kind of keep things fun, we're gonna do a Sasquatch scavenger hunt. Amazing. I have a fun plan all mapped out for a Saturday. I got my entry point to Beauty Bay. I've got where I want to end up on Beauty Bay, and we are ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, save that, add to my folder. And now the fun is just about to begin. So I've got my waypoints, I've got my trail all kind of selected out. Now I want to build a route along the trail, and the route that I'm going to build is really nice because it snaps directly to the trail and it gives me a breadcrumb while I'm out on the trail that is ahead of me to help me follow the turns all the way to the end. So let's go ahead and say I want to start the route from getting off Highway 90, follow along 97, and I'm just going to simply drag my cursor up to the picnic. So this will be route to picnic. And you can get the idea that this is the uh essentially the there we go. Essentially the way to build out a plan, keep it simple, keep it easy. Now I'm going to show you where to find this folder. So here in the My Content tab, this will be the center of the navigation bar on your phone. I know I spelled it wrong. I saw that and I was like, whatever. So I am now here in the My Content folder with a bunch of other folders that I've saved in the past. I'm going to simply tap into that, and this is going to give me the waypoints that I've made. I'm going to give the routes that I've made all within the folder. And if I have any notes like, okay, I want to add X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to try to spell right now because clearly I can't spell. I'm going to have that all added into my notes. That might say fuel stop along mile 30. It might say picnic halfway down the trail. It might have a few other notes like, hey, be sure to check out this waterfall. It's just a great kind of like logbook for you to kind of stash all of your information related to the trip. And then if you have any friends or family that you're like, hey, I want to share this folder with, simple, go ahead and tap the share button right up here. And this can be an opportunity where you select the folder, you share via text, you share via email, and then your pals can get access to those plans and that information within that shared folder. It's a really powerful tool to be able to share plans and collaborate with your friends and crew members. So now that I have my kind of map lined out, now that I have picnic with a K identified on the map, I know or I assume that I'm going to lose cell coverage as I start entering the trail. The next step for kind of proper planning is making sure that you have your offline map loaded and saved. So I'm going to go ahead. It's the second to right in the menu bar on your guys' phones. I'm going to go ahead and tap offline map, and I'm going to select a new offline map in this big orange button. And as I do that, you're going to see that you have different resolution sizes that are given to you via satellite imagery. And this is pretty important to understand depending on how much fidelity you want on your map when you're outside of cell signal. In a lot of cases, when I'm out running a trail, if I'm in technical areas, I might want a higher fidelity and higher resolution because I want to pinch and zoom to make sure that I'm understanding kind of the nuances of the trail. If there's kind of really sharp turns or if there's saddles that are along the trail that may not be as quite visible at a certain zoom distance, but as I zoom in, I can start to see, oh, there's a lot more information that I'm going to need to know. Then I would encourage you to select a higher resolution map. But in a lot of cases, a medium resolution map is going to be just fine. You're going to get proper distance of where your map is at. And then I'm just going to simply name this up in the window right there. Um, Trip with the kids and hit save. Now, this is important. I want to kind of like pause here for 1 second. If you guys are building offline maps on your desktop, it's really, really important to know that this will automatically save locally to your desktop, but you will need to go into your phone, select offline map, and make sure that you tap the check mark and you see the progress bar load and eventually turn green. The way I like to say this is green means you're good to go. So as you can see, I have a few offline maps around the Mount Coeur d'Alene, Beauty Bay area because this is a popular place for me to go. There's a green perimeter around the area I plan to adventure, which means that map is loaded on my computer. You will, if you follow the steps of clicking that map name, tapping that check on your mobile device, making sure it fully loads and that check mark turns green, then you know that that offline map has been downloaded on your phone. Okay, I'm gonna pause for 1 second. I'm gonna see what is going on in the chat. Again, if you guys have any questions, please throw those over to the Q&A. And I'm going to try to reload my phone one last time because I want to show you a feature that I think would be really valuable to you guys. 1 second. It's always fun trying to do this on the fly, huh? Hey, do we got it? I think we got it.
Good, Andy.
Okay. So now we have we have this loaded up, and I'm just gonna, for the sake of time, let's just pretend that this Beauty Bay trailhead, this is where I want to get to. And you can tap the waypoint right there, or you can tap, actually, let's see if I can do this. Quick trip. Cool. I don't want to hide on the map. You have the option of hiding or not hiding on the map. This is, man, what a night, huh? Not wanting to turn on off for me. Okay, well, let's just say I want to go to the Beauty Bay Trailhead. Really fun. Did it lose? Oh man. Okay. Are you seeing it, Melissa?
I can see it. I think Zoom is just being glitchy tonight, Andy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end this here quickly. Navigate to. This is a new feature that we just rolled out. We are trying to help all of you off-roaders keep everything integrated into a single product. Okay. So last month we rolled out onX navigation. So if you have a waypoint or an area that you've marked that you want to navigate to and don't want to toggle back and forth between the likes of Google Maps and other apps out there, simply select navigate to. You'll have the option now to navigate within onX. And what this will do is this will build your route from the place that you are starting off. So in this case, my house, and it will navigate you and route you with voice turn by turn prompts all the way to your destination. And it will take you off road, which some of the other competitors don't do. So if you have a waypoint that is down a trail, it will navigate you down the trail with voice prompts along the way. So I really wanted to make sure that the phone worked for this case because this is a really, really powerful navigation tool that we have rolled out that we are really, really proud of. So please, on your upcoming adventures, simply select navigate to, be using. I'm going to stop sharing my phone because this is tweaking out on me. I'm going to go back to my trusty old computer and please start navigating with onX navigation. It is amazing tool. So let's go ahead, wrap this up. You guys have been patient. You guys have been fun. Are there any burning questions? I'll use this really quickly as a quick burning question moment because this is a little bit clunkier than it has been in the past. I want to give some grace and give you guys a chance to ask a question or two. Melissa, has there been any burning questions in the chat that we should talk through?
No, Andy, actually, customer service is still answering questions. There's about 14 still open, so we have a few more minutes if anyone has questions and they want to pop those in the Q&A. But everything seems to be answered and going well, Andy.
Cool. Don't be dropping off, you guys. We got a giveaway here coming up. So just stay with us. Can you track the trails you've completed? Okay, good question. Let me go back to my phone. For whatever reason, Zoom is just being a little cranky with my phone. But let's back out. So I saw two questions. I'm going to try to answer two of the questions I saw quickly. So if you have a waypoint that you've dropped and or let's just say you want to tap a trail. So I'm zooming in. I'm not because you can't see my finger tap the screen. I am tapping on the green trail line right here. That's pulling up Beauty Caesar Trail 1575. So again, this is not the waypoint. This is just the trail. That orange button down at the bottom, you hit just I'll make sure I'm not going too fast. Hit navigate, tap it right there, and then onX navigation, select, and then there you go. That's how you access the navigation feature. You can also simply grab that by tapping the waypoint icon or the trail. And then someone asked, I think it was, can you track trails that you've completed? So the best way to do this is tap the go and track on your phone when you're out running a trail. So that way you're basically recording your own personal breadcrumb that you can access and reference later. I find this valuable because at times I will be on a guided trail that you see, Cedar 1575. I'll be on it, and let's just say that there's a place where I want to deviate and explore a different trail. That's a great way to have that referenced for later, and you can access your tracks in the My Content tab. So again, My Content is your personal library of all of the contents that you have kind of built within the onX Offroad ecosystem. So all content, all your waypoints, lines. So if you're just kind of like scouting out a few areas, the tracks that I was just referencing, routes, as we built with the route builder tool, and area markups. And area markups, I can show you one right here, dispersed camping zone. So with this markup, I created, where did it, like everything is kind of playing with me today. Okay, right here. We created a dispersed camping area on a trip that we were on. And so this was just a great tool for us to kind of quickly kind of understand how much kind of like spatial volume is in this dispersed camp area. So it was easy for us to use for a specific use case. Okay, let's move back over to desktop. I do want to show you, yes, this is recorded. This will be on YouTube. I've seen a few folks ask, are there more tutorials? We have a whole how-to series on YouTube. We have a lot of content on YouTube that you can find. So I would really encourage you guys to dive into our YouTube channel and find a bunch of fun information there. Before I let you guys go and before we get to the giveaway, we do have a few different base layer maps that is really important to show you guys. So let's go ahead and load up 3D. We go. And 3D is, yeah, you're gonna get the point. I'm having just a whole lot of fun with technology tonight. But basically, you can exaggerate the terrain. You can kind of see a really fun view of the landscape. This will help you get a better understanding of the specific kind of elements you're getting into with your trips. We have hybrid base map. Let me just kind of get back to standard view here. Standard hybrid with topo and satellite view, and then your standard satellite view. If you are all of these are available if you are a paying member, which at our premium product price point, $35 a year, you're going to have access to all of everything I've just covered. If you are an elite member, you will have access to recent imagery, which is a really powerful tool. The granularity of being able to see what is happening around you within a specific period of time is really important, especially in climates like North Idaho, where it's like, oh, I don't want to get into a bunch of snow or slush. I just want to stay dry, or you do want to go chase snow. Recent imagery, it refreshes its data every 2 weeks to give you the best possible view of what trail conditions are looking like out there on your adventure. So I'm going to move over to now the giveaway. We are giving away 5 boonie hats. We are moving into a really fun period of time called spring. Sun is starting to shine in some parts of the country. For some of you, it's already been sunny, which we are jealous for. But an onX Offroad account is required. A basic account is fine, which is free. You can get in and just make sure to click the giveaway link in the chat. Um, check your emails tomorrow. This will turn off by midnight tonight. And then before you guys hop, we have a fun YouTube series that we just launched last month, where we are partnering with our amazing roster of ambassadors, where we are going out mapping new trails that are multi-day, multi-night trails. And we are putting all of that content into a shared folder. The content series is called Rugged Adventures. You can go to our website and find the Rugged Adventures there. And you can go to our various YouTube ambassador channels. And it's an amazing, amazing series. And with that, thanks for tuning in. It's been fun. There's been a whole lot of yeah, tonight was a fun journey down the trail. Tune in again, like I said, you got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got all the social channels. Find us, reach out if you have questions. Please holler. We have a dedicated team that is here for you guys. Have as much fun to go out, go further confidently. So enjoy the trails, and we will chat soon.